Some units in Control Europe are extremely overpowered and useful, while others are just a blatant waste of money. So today, I'm going to be explaining every unit in Control Europe, so that you know exactly what to spend your money on. So let's get on to the video! We'll start with Infantry because it's the first unit every player starts with, and you'll be using it in almost every game. Infantry is your main unit for expanding early game. It's cheap to produce, with a 50,000 upkeep cost and 500,000 production cost. For 5,000 men, captures territory quickly, and because you start off with it, you'll definitely be using it the entire match. However, Infantry isn't perfect. It has one major weakness that can cost you an entire division of soldiers if you're not careful. When Infantry travels through a neutral country that you aren't at war with, the division will lose a significant number of troops along the way compared to other units. This usually happens when you turn on auto capture, as it will automatically find the quickest route to the closest enemy tile. If you want to avoid this, you will have to manually redirect your divisions around the neutral country. Doing this can save at least half of your division. Overall, I'd rank Infantry in A tier. While it isn't the strongest combat unit, it's one you'll be relying on from the start of the game, all the way to the end. Next up are tanks. Once your economy starts growing, these become one of the strongest units in the entire game. Compared to Infantry, tanks move much faster, capture territory more quickly, and are significantly harder to destroy. However, tanks also do come with one major downside. Every 100 tanks costs 10 million to deploy, along with a 300,000 upkeep cost. If your economy isn't ready, buying too many tanks can quickly drain your money. Here are some tips you should do to maximize your tank use. Don't rush to build tanks the moment you unlock them. Wait until your economy can easily handle the upkeep before starting to mass produce them. Also, if you're still struggling to make money, Infantry is usually a better choice. Switch to tanks once your economy is stable. Overall, I'd give tanks an S tier, as they are literally infantry on steroids. Next up is artillery. While it may not look impressive at first, it can be an extremely useful support unit. Artillery can heavily weaken enemy divisions before your main army even arrives. It's also surprisingly cheap to maintain, with the maximum amount costing just 750,000 upkeep. On top of that, artillery can still capture territory, making it useful even when you aren't fighting. Like every unit, artillery also has its drawbacks. The biggest drawback is if your opponent has big divisions, they can easily destroy the artillery just by touching it, which can make it ineffective against fighting strong enemies. The best way to use artillery is to take advantage of its cheap price and spam them on your borders. Overall, I would rank artillery in B tier, as it can quickly get outclassed by planes and battleships. Alright, next up are planes. Planes are basically sky killers that follow around enemy divisions, taking away chunks of their health. The enemy division is pretty much helpless unless there is an anti-air or battleship nearby. Some pros of planes is that they can quickly weaken large enemy divisions, allowing your ground forces to finish the job. They can also lower city defenses, which can lead to much less troop casualties, and the faster capture of the city. Again, this unit also has its cons. They're expensive to maintain and can't capture territory on their own, and they're also vulnerable to anti-aircraft. When a plane flies over a city with anti-air, it takes massive damage, making careless air attacks very risky. If you want to maximize your plane usage, upgrade it to max in technology and target stronger divisions and units. Overall, I'd put planes in A tier. The only thing stopping it from going to S tier is how vulnerable they are to anti-air and the sheer cost to overwhelm one anti-aircraft. Anti-aircraft is a special passive defense that you can spawn in cities. It has no upkeep cost and is very cheap to max out, making it one of the most cost-effective defenses in the game. However, it has two major downsides. It takes a while to spawn, and it usually can't destroy a plane before it finishes its attack. That said, anti-air is still very useful. Placing it in heavily defended cities can help prevent enemy planes from repeatedly lowering your city's defense tier. Because it's cheap, has no upkeep, and provides good value despite its limitations, I'm placing anti-aircraft in B tier. Missile launchers are a unique unit that fires long-range missiles at enemy targets. While they can attack from a safe distance, their biggest problem is that their missiles barely deal enough damage to make a real impact. In most cases, you'll get much more value from other units. That said, they aren't completely useless. Missile launchers can still capture territory, which gives them some strategic value, and they're definitely one of the more fun units to use. Overall, their low damage holds them back too much, but they have enough upsides to avoid the bottom of the tier list. Because of that, I'm placing missile launchers in C tier. Battleships are one of the most powerful units in Control Europe. They have massive health, incredible firepower, and can attack multiple divisions at once. A single battleship can destroy huge armies, including divisions with hundreds of thousands of manpower. However, they have some major drawbacks. The smallest battleship division costs 350 million to spawn and has 3.25 million upkeep, making it one of the most expensive units in the game. They also can only operate in water, so they are useless in landlocked areas. Despite these weaknesses, a well-placed battleship can completely change the course of a war. Their damage and range make them a huge threat to any enemy near the coast. Because of their insane power but extreme cost, I'm placing battleships in A tier. The aircraft carrier is the newest unit in Control Europe, and it's easily one of the most unique. Instead of focusing purely on damage, it combines offense with support, making it a powerful option for players who can afford its massive price tag. Aircraft carriers are the most expensive unit in Control Europe. The smallest division costs 525 million to spawn and has a massive 4.5 million upkeep, so you'll need a very strong economy before you can even think about using them. However, they make up for that with their unique abilities. Aircraft carriers can store nearby planes, removing their upkeep cost while keeping them ready to deploy whenever you need them. They can also attack enemies within a large radius. While their damage is only about half of what a battleship can deal, they can still put a lot of pressure on enemy forces and provide excellent support during naval war. Overall, their massive price tag prevents them from reaching S tier, but their versatility and support capabilities make them an incredibly strong unit. Because of that, I'm placing aircraft carriers in A tier, and that is every unit ranked in Control Europe. Of course, these rankings are just my opinion, so let me know in the comments what you would change. Did I put a unit too high, or maybe too low? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more Control Europe content. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.